G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for another Path of Exile map commentary. It has been a while since I've done one of these, but it's been one of my series that's been requested to have a return, and I think it's pretty fun to do as well. It's fun to break these maps down for you guys, and give you guys a bit more info on the mapping system, because it can be pretty intimidating when you're first getting into maps, especially when you don't know what the bosses of the maps are, what the layouts of the maps are, or anything like that. So in this video, I will take you guys through the map and also talk about rolling in it, all that jazz, so that you guys can be confident going into your maps, or maybe know which maps to avoid. So today I'm going to be doing one of my favorite maps, level 71 Dry Woods map. So this is a mid-level map, and usually as you start moving up the maps, things get a fair bit harder, but Dry Woods is actually a pretty cruisy map in general. Now, Dry Woods actually has two bosses. They are two small monkey bosses. They can hit pretty hard because they have overlapping auras that cause them to get a little bit nasty. But because it's two bosses, this is one that I really love to roll two unique bosses on. So as you can see, I have the mod here. Two unique bosses. The extra monster damage is going to make them hit a little bit harder, but won't be too much of a problem. They are only little monkeys after all. And I'm pretty tanky. The build I'm playing, for reference, is my Hellfire, Righteous Fire, not Hellfire, Righteous Fire Marauder. Now, I got the two unique bosses roll, and I decided to spend, because it's one of my favorite maps, and because two unique bosses is a great roll on this map, I decided to regal it, and I managed to get 41% more rare monsters, which is pretty nice. Now, I'm obviously not going to exalt a map like this, but pretty good stuff. Now, this is a pretty big open map as well, so good mods to roll are things like pack size, magic monsters, rare monsters, and obviously those two unique bosses are all good maps to roll. And things like... I would say things like temporal chains I would avoid because it's going to slow you down a lot because there's a lot of running in this map. And things like chilled ground aren't too bad because they tend to spread out. So any of the ground effect things like burning ground, chilled ground, or I think it's like the new poison ground mod that I can't remember the name of. Any of that sort of stuff is nice and easy to avoid because there is so much space. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dump it in, and we'll go ahead and activate it. So I haven't chiseled this map. Chiseling over level 70 maps or 71, 72 maps is usually a good idea though, so maybe I should have chiseled this one, but I have a pretty big map pool now of higher level maps. So, Righteous Fire Marauder involves doing some snapshotting action, which may be removed from the game soon, but we'll take advantage of it in this one since it is still there for us. So I'll go ahead and snapshot there. If you guys want to learn about snapshotting, when you check out the build guide for this video, you'll be able to learn just how that is. And this character is level 80. And I have about a little bit less than 3 exalts worth of gear. Most of the gear is pretty budget, but things like Rise of the Phoenix and Carcass Jack are a little bit pricey, but nothing too crazy. And auras I'm running, just for you guys who are curious, I'm running Grace, Purity of Fire, and Vitality. And if you want to take a quick look, there's my defensive stats just there. So let's go jump into it. Now this, as I said, is a big open map. You'll notice there's a lot of these little terrain bugs, so if you have something like Leap Slam, it's very helpful to be able to leap over these things or lightning warp over them. So that's very handy. But basically the strategy for this style of map should be to clear around the outside first. So pick a wall, communicate with your party that you're going to be sticking to that particular wall, and start clearing around. Now you notice we have a bit of a kind of like a gorge area here, but I'm basically just going to like run between these two areas so that I don't have to run this individual spot just here. So, burning guys down. We've got some of the, I think, I'll double check and put in the description which is the base mob spawn for this. It's either rocks or monkeys. I'm pretty sure it's rocks, so you can see all these rocks just here. I'm pretty sure these guys always spawn in the map, so keep an eye out for those big piles of rocks. They kind of look non-animated when you first go past them, but do keep an eye out for those guys, and whenever you see them, jump on them to activate them. And while they actually animate, you have a good bit of time just there to curse them and to attack them and things like that. Now this wall just here, even though you can see a gap on the map, this is actually the edge boundary of the map. Look, you can tell by not being able to leap slam over there. So that is the actual boundary of the map, so we'll be sticking to just there. But I'll be making sure, just so I don't have to run back through this little narrow area, I'll be making sure just to clear this sort of area just here. I'll curse this guy, deal some extra damage. Nicely done. Just cursing, double cursing to increase the damage of Righteous Fire, and using Cyclone to proc Elemental Equilibrium with some cold damage from an amulet just here. Looks like we have a Stormcaller just there. Where is Storm Herald? Where is the actual Storm Herald mod so I can kill it? It must have been a monkey. I think it died. As I said, the other option could be that it's monkeys. I will put it in the description below so you guys know which is the base mob spawn on this map, because there's always one guaranteed mob type on a map unless you roll a population style mod. So something like contains humanoids or sea witches and their spawns, things like that. So I'll spend a bit of time just here clearing up these guys. Monkeys, there's really nothing I can say about monkeys. Monkeys are easy mode, so no real problems there. But yeah, it's either one of those. I can't recall which, but I will look it up and get back to you guys. So, continuing through here, I'm actually leveling some gems there. Thought I was pretty much done with all of that. Looks like that monkey's desynced, so I'll hit my OS macro just there. But just continuing around the outside, pretty simple stuff. I think I can see that it continues to go down in this direction, so we'll hit up there and curse those guys and take them out as they animate. They don't even get a chance to attack. If you have high enough DPS, you can take those guys out before they even have a chance to attack. Nice and easily. Got a bunch of zombies. I've gotten really good, really lucky on the mob spawns in this map, as you can see. I've just got the monkeys, the rocks, zombies, and I think that's all I've seen so far. I haven't seen anything else harder. That is the boundary just there. Pretty awkward. This is why I recommend Leap Slam, because otherwise you have to run in amongst all of these guys. So you should always make sure your build either has Leap Slam or Lightning Warp if you can fit it into the character. Some characters can't fit in an extra skill and have to use something like Whirling Blades or no movement skill on some builds. But for the most part, most builds can make sure. It looks like those guys were desynced on the trees. I love my Val Cyclone, but it really doesn't work well in this map because of all the trees and walls and everything like that. The mobs will get stuck on them and won't Val Cyclone to you. So it looks like the edge boundary now. Just keeping an eye on that guy. Even though it looks like breaks, you'll kind of recognize what the edge boundary wall looks like. You can just continue along that edge just there. So we should be coming up to the boss area pretty soon. You'll know you're getting to the bosses when you see a bunch of tents. So we'll keep an eye out for those guys. Looks like there's a whole big host, massive pack of monkeys up there. Oh, hello monkeys. So satisfying to jump in and burn all of them down. Amethyst ring, I'll pick that up to chance. Give me a Ming's Heart. No Ming's Heart. We've got fire resistance, mana leech. Not really going to bother with that. Not going to really regal something that doesn't have life. Or at least top tier stats, and that is not a top tier fire roll. That's like a tier 3 or tier 4 fire roll. Alright, let's continue around the outside. Just here, go and burn the monkeys down. The only thing I don't like about the monkeys is they do run away from you when you kill some of them. When you kill, you'll notice when I kill 1 or 2 monkeys, the other ones will run away. They're kind of a little bit scared. They're scared, these guys. Look at him scamper away. So the best thing you can do is just let them come to you. I'll just kite them to the next pack. So here we go. We have the bosses just there. You can see one boss just there with allies move and attack faster. And then there's a slowing aura on the other boss just here. So basically, I'm just going to burn these guys down. They are very easy to kill. Chances are, if you're in a group, you won't even notice the bosses. But there you go. There was 2 of the bosses. I believe we rolled double bosses. So the other 2 must be going off and hiding somewhere. So let's go ahead and identify some of this gear, see if we get anything good. Nothing good on the sword. Nothing good on the mace either. A high resist roll though. And oh, high-ish evasion, very high life, and very cold resist. Actually, someone might buy that. But let's pick up some of these other guys. Majestic Plate. Looks like my Grace leveled up too. Getting all the gems leveled up at the moment. So the other 2 monkeys should be somewhere. So if you are a bit worried or if you're a bit squishy, then you can draw away some of the bosses and then kill the other ones over here. But let's go ahead and wreck them all up. As you can see, rolling double bosses is nice because we essentially get 4 little loot explosions. They don't drop quite as much loot as single bigger bosses, but overall, it seems like they drop more loot overall. So I do like getting those double boss rolls on this map. There's another map, higher level one. I think it's Bazaar. That rolls a bunch of ribbons, and there's like 3 ribbon bosses, and you can roll double boss and that gets 6 total bosses, which is pretty cool. So you can see here like the palisade walls and the tents. So that's when you know you found the boss. Sometimes you'll come along the edge of the wall and you'll come up behind some of the tents like that. A very good idea is to not get caught in this little area like that. I've done that before and had the monkeys wail on me, and you realize that they can actually take your damage down, your life down pretty quickly if they all hit you at once like that. So I don't recommend getting caught in next to the tent. Draw them out into the open. I think that's the best way to deal with them. So let's clear the rest of this map. Looks like we've gotten very easy on the mob rolls on this map, despite being it was a pretty high quantity map, wasn't it? Was it? Only 27% more items, but we got pretty nice rolls otherwise. And rare monsters might help us get some map upgrades. I don't think we've had any map drops so far though. Nothing particularly good in this map run. But you can I'm sure you're getting an idea of a bit of why it's one of my favored maps. The bosses are kind of fun, easy to kill. The area is kind of bright and open. I like that in maps. It feels a bit more pleasant to be in. And once you do get a nice clear open area open like this, you can use something like File Cyclone to draw the mobs in. And it's kind of cool just running around it. It's a pretty large map as well, so you get pretty good value for it. pretty good value from it. I think out of the 71 pool, it's one of my favorite 71 maps. Definitely, well, probably my favorite 71 maps. It's probably one of my favorite mid-level maps. So, just continuing clearing around the outside, and eventually you'll find yourself just about back up to where the portal is. I think we're just about there. Let me pick up this chest just there, and we'll ID any of the stuff we've got left over at the end. There's the rocks. I almost didn't even see those ones. I just happened to leap slam across them. But looks like we've already killed these guys, and we're back at the portal just there, so we can check the mobs remaining. We have more than 20 monsters remaining, so in that case, if you haven't sort of done like a full clear, then you'll have to sort of duck in close and go to this like middle mountain area. So what I'm actually going to do is go basically back to the portal and then duck into the middle wall section, or this little middle mountain in the center here, and kind of clear around that in the opposite direction to what you ran before. I suppose you could do it in the same direction, doesn't really make any difference. But clearing out that, and we may have to do another little loop around through some of these more open parts. Maybe we can crisscross around this way here just to make sure we don't miss any mobs. But generally the most optimal way of clearing it's going to be to run around the entire outside and then do kind of like a little loop in the center as well. So looks like we missed one guy just up there. But otherwise, just ducking in here. There'll be some guys hiding in. Sometimes you'll see like these little room sort of areas. Make sure you check in those because it's pretty easy to miss those guys. I'm not gonna bother with the mace. And clear out the rest of these guys. Looks like this section just here in the middle of the map should be the area we haven't fully cleared out yet. Let's take these guys down. It's another big pile. Keep an eye out for these rocks that haven't animated. Hidden amongst trees, hidden amongst the grass and stuff like that. There's some cans. We can smash these guys as well. In these sort of mid to high level maps, it is a good idea to open those chests and smash those cans and vases and barrels and stuff like that, because those guys can drop maps. They won't give you map upgrades, but you can get refunds from them. So I can drop a level 71 map or below in those cans. So it's well worth doing. So there we go. It looks like flammability's leveling up too. Everything's leveling up. This one's actually spawned a little bit interestingly. It's much more open than some of the other ones I've done. But just crisscrossing through the center here, and we should be pretty close now. Still more than 20? Here's another big room hidden in the center just here. So we'll clear this area out here. Looks like there's another bunch of rocks over there too. I'll use my Vile Cyclone to draw all these guys in. No, they're stuck on the chest. There's actually 2 chests. We'll grab there. Vile Cyclone spinning forever, spinning for days. Alright, looks like there's a big pile of rocks there. There's a rare one. Oh, for some reason I can't leap slam over that one. How very odd. Alright, clear these guys out. And how are we going now? 13 monsters remain. We're a bit closer. The only that is the only downside to this map, being a very open area with a lot of little areas, a very open map with a lot of little areas to poke into. It can be easy to miss some of those mobs that spawn. We should have cleared this area out pretty well. We can poke into just down here. Another one of these little rooms in the center, which you can miss things in. Looks like I didn't though. See if I can go hunt down that last pack of mobs that's hiding. It's probably a pack of rocks somewhere that hasn't animated. Oh, that desync. Oh, man. Here we go. Yeah, they're sort of just floating around in one of these little rooms in here. So that's the vast majority of them. We missed 6. I think if you're getting under like the 10-15 range in a big open map like this, it's not worth the time taken to go and chase down every single mob, especially only in a level 71 map. So let's jump on out, and I'll ID the last of the gear that we found and see if anything's worth anything. See if anything's going to be making it into the shop. I think that chest will make it into the shop. It's a pretty high evasion rating chest with a very good life roll and a very good cold resist roll. I think someone will want to wear that. The gloves look no good. That's a chromatic item. We'll be vendoring that. That one has a perfect lightning resist roll, but nothing else. And, oh, the tyrannical... I think that's a... Is that a tyrannical increased physical damage? That's a top tier physical damage roll there. Unfortunately, the flat physical mod is only 4 to 9. If that was like a 15 to 30, it would be getting close to being pretty good. It also needs attack speed, but the physical roll is very high otherwise. So it looks like just the evasion chest, which I'll probably chuck in the shop for a couple chaos. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more of these map commentaries, let me know in the comments below. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.